Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be looking at how schizoid orientation differs from introversion. The focus remains on the schizoid experience and using spectrum language to describe variation without diagnosis. This video is about why introversion doesn't fully describe schizoid functioning because it focuses on energy and social habits rather than on how someone is psychologically organized. It builds on my recent schizoid spectrum clarification video and helps to stabilize the language used on this channel so that we're describing the same things in the same way. The word introversion is a widely used concept in modern psychology and in popular language. In this context, it refers to how people manage social energy and recovery. Introversion usually assumes that relational desire is intact and that time alone helps someone to return to engagement once they've rested. That definition is important to clarify before making this comparison. Historically, the word introversion was used very differently in psychoanalytic theory. Guntrip used it to describe a turning inward of emotional investment, not a personality trait. What Guntrip was describing involved withdrawal from external objects, a shift towards internal object relations, and protection of the self through inward focus. This usage aligns with what I'm calling schizoid inward orientation, not with the modern energy-based version of introversion. This comparison is descriptive rather than diagnostic. It doesn't imply severity, hierarchy, or identity categories. The focus is on organizing reference points, not outward behavior or sociability. Here's a clear definition to ground the comparison. Schizoid inward orientation refers to a way of organizing experience in which clarity, regulation, and continuity are primarily held internally, with distance used to support internal coherence rather than social preference or energy recovery. How inward orientation operates. Schizoid experience is organized around an internal reference point. Distance is used to regulate clarity, not to recover energy. External input plays a limited role in maintaining internal coherence. For some people, distance is needed even when interaction feels neutral because internal clarity begins to shift. I've mentioned an internal reference point based around internal organization. So I'll explain what I mean by this. The internal reference is the internal point around which experience stabilizes. For schizoid internal orientation, that reference is held internally rather than formed through interaction or feedback. This difference is central to everything that follows. So what can look similar between the two? From the outside, introversion and schizoid inward orientation can look similar. They may both involve reduced engagement, selective interaction, or use of distance. These similarities reflect apparent, not internal organization. This table enables us to make a comparison. Because the word introversion is so familiar, some people with schizoid inward orientation recognize aspects of that language. The reverse is not always true because the organizing reference differs. This can create a sense that introversion fits, but not completely. I think that the main point to make here is that introversion is defined pretty loosely, and it doesn't cover the depths of internal functioning that schizoids experience. Why introversion as a term can feel insufficient? Introversion often assumes that a person's distance reflects preference or limited energy. Some people with schizoid inward orientation can be sociable and engaged while still organizing experience internally rather than through interaction. This is where introversion language often stops being adequate. Where does the difference appear? The difference appears in what distance is doing internally. It also appears in what kind of strain affect experience. Two people may limit interaction in similar ways while responding to very different internal pressures. To make a direct comparison, introversion and schizoid inward orientation can look similar while functioning differently. They're organized around different reference points and regulate experience in different ways. To summarize, introversion is a personality preference. Schizoid inward orientation is a regulatory structure. An introvert is not automatically schizoid. A schizoid orientated person may or may not be introverted. The overlap between them is visual, not structural. So when I say that a schizoid orientated person may or may not be introverted, I'm referring to the modern day version of introversion and not Guntrip psychoanalytic version of introversion that was focused around inward orientation. In conclusion, introverts go inwards to recharge so they can come back. Schizoid orientation goes inward so that it can stay intact. So that's all for the video today. I do have a Substack where I write about a schizoid experience that you can follow along at your own pace. It covers the topics that I've been talking about, the schizoid spectrum, inward orientation, and it's going to go on to cover a lot more about schizoid functioning and how it impacts everyday life in terms of sociability and work and just the general lived experience. You can find the link to my Substack in the description below. And until the next video, goodbye.